Okay, here we go. What's happening? This is your general reporting. This is an impromptu report, communication. Where do I begin? I don't even know where to begin. Well, I'm in Macon, had court today. Calendar call, have a date on the 17th with a place that we're suing. I'm suing. I'm suing them because of, but no, not this place. McAfee Towers actually is the one that, the second place, the lies and the manipulation and so forth. This place, New Street, they dogged out Carol from just her being a tenant there. And I am, well, what you might call an expert in landlord-tenant law. And I saw the things when last year when I married her, like that they failed to do, and the place was deplorable. So I said, dude, I mean, this is not right what they're doing, blah blah blah. So I talked with her about, with the situation, her rights, and how her rights were being violated. And I got on to that complaint that I was filing for her because of some things that they did to me, because I was educating her about her rights being violated. And there's more to it. I'll explain that later. So anyway, that is the New Street case. And earlier in the video, I said that I'm gonna report my journey to my faithful subscribers anyway. It's increasing. People are looking, and they're ones who just are looking at me like, dude, what's going on? I'm hearing this, I'm hearing that. So this is me fulfilling, in my favorite quote, Mark Twain, who says, a lie can travel halfway around the world before the truth gets up and puts its slippers on. Mark Twain. I say that because the truth is indeed up. Its slippers are on, and it's bringing light to all of the lies that have been told. So, I'm just going to keep going here. I'll probably chop this up, and I don't know what I'll do, but yeah, I'm going to talk. I need to talk to you guys. This is therapy, yes. Okay, where do I start with therapy? Okay, I'll just follow the line from which I was sharing with you about the cases. So I'm down here, and I just dropped Carol off because I'm in Atlanta now. A lot of you all know that. We're talking. I'm like saying, hey, we're supposed to be better. Let's talk. Let's do it. And listen, let me say, when I've often talked about, I'm jumping. It's impromptu. I'm jumping. I've talked about my channel. I've talked about what I want it to be about, but I've also mentioned that there's another Latin word that I've often said in my previous videos: si vis spacem parabellum, which is Latin for he who desires peace must prepare for war. This is so true. The great macrocosm of everything: existentialism, life, God, love, the Creator, Jehovah, Yahweh. Set the set the stage for the great one. Actually sets the very foundation for the very, very familiar locus classicus. There can be no peace until there is war. And for those of you who believe in the ancient text, the Bible, the scriptures that talks about what's going to go down and what's going to happen, there being a war of the gods, for those of you who believe that, understand that what he is saying is that he meaning God, he is saying, I want peace. I want to bring you peace. Those of you who are good deserve peace. But in order for me to bring about that peace for you all, there has to be war. And war comes on many different levels. The complexity of war is great, especially in this spiritual thingy we got going on. It comes in many variations, many temptations, many tactics. I mean, it's crazy. The stuff I've seen, I'm like, wow, and I'm jumping again. Those of you who know that I used to be long time ago in this, some of a bad boy. Okay, and but I always footnote this, and many will tell you this that know of me and know when I was living in the streets. I always protected what I call civilians, and yeah. And I knew when I was out there. See, you got to remember, I was the church boy, brought up devout Christian, home, great parents, Christian belief. So when I turned bad, I had to be worse because they wouldn't have took me serious. They wouldn't have took me serious. And it helped being crazy, being bipolar. That added value. Now, I'm saying all this because, again, for the things that have happened to me, like now, that was me 30 years ago, right? When I committed over to really, really dedicating myself to love, to God, and to serve Him, I have been in more police, dude. I'm almost like, and then when I see those videos, those chosen one videos, it's like they're so on point. It's like the things that they say will happen, and that's why I'm coming out with my thing to all generals, because I am living it. I'm living what they say, But I have experienced some, I guess, a level of cognitive dissonance for me, because I'm like, no, I know, and what I'm referring to is like him selected saying, hey, come serve me, right? I'm like, dude, I'm not me. I mean, I didn't really say that, but I mean, I felt, I was like, hey, I'm like nothing. I'm dirt, like the things that I've done, and like, so I went through that for a while. Conflicting beliefs as to what spiritually was saying, hey, come. But then I was listening to other people, and I was thinking, but they're like, there's no way you could be, he wants you. I'm like, I know. That's what I've been telling him. I'm telling him, there's, he ain't listening. He keeps sending, paranormal stuff. And that's another thing that I'm going to get into. I am, because in my little circle, community's like, well, we don't tell that experience. I'm like, why? It's an amazing experience. You know, getting chosen. Ooh. Let's see what we got going on here. All right. Okay. Who is this? I hope it's Gene. Who is, how, okay, bam. Bam. Hello?
Hey, man.
Hey.
Look like you driving.
Look like is this who I think it is?
This Mr. Penn.
Mr.
He's the one Jehovah told to call General. Put him on Memphis. That's what Jehovah told me.
You know what?
Man, you tell me that.
Man, I am so...
Jehovah.
This is...
Yeah.
Listen, I'm on my way up to see you, man.
Yeah, hey, man.
Yeah?
Jehovah Bible, man. We don't care if they don't like us. Look what we doing.
Exactly.
I didn't know that. Look, I don't know nothing about it. Seeing you or you seeing me on no phone. I really don't know your birth. Yeah, you will. Tell me. Jehovah hell, lady. Yeah.
Yes, Jehovah is definitely hell. Absolutely. I get the syntax. I get it, huh?
Yeah, you looking nice. Yeah.
Well, look. Well, she's not here. She didn't come. I dropped her off, but I'm on my way up.
Okay.
All right. Hey, listen. So what room you in?
Tino.
All right. I'm fixing to wrap up something. I'll be up in about 10 minutes.
Okay then.
Yep. Peace and love, my brother. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yep. Wow. Now that was amazing, and it was not staged. You know. This guy, Pitch, is okay. Where do I go back to this? I told you that's why I got a book. Okay. This guy here that I'm going to see was suffering with cancer. Not feeling good. I was at the hospital. If you go back and see some of my videos, you might know him. Just been praying. And I'm talking about this dude. Once so I'm sitting there. And so I just start praying with him and on him and so forth. And the next day, it amazingly, they recovered. And you know, I will say, see, that's something that I really wasn't like that. I'm in the group, the community I'm in. It's like, no, you can't do that. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I believe I did, and that he's healthy and up, and I'm gonna go see him now. So go back to some of my videos and see that. Yeah, I did that. Well, we did that. You know, I don't want to be like Tibapa King, who I'm sorry. See, I lied. I just made that up. But it was one of David's soldiers, and it's in oh man, what's it? I still got stuff to work on. It's like, you know what I'm saying? That's the, like, I guess lawyer type is not lie, but again, saying it in that way was not good. And I'm working on that. So I'm still a work in progress, you know. So anyway, my point was, and what I'm referring to is like I made up a name of the place, and you know, I just say, hey, I don't know the name of the battlefield, but I do know the account, and here's the account. So he was battling against the field. No, I'm kidding. It was another group. See, I'm getting good. I don't know the other group he was fighting against. So he was fighting against them, and after he won, he said, "The battle is mine and Jehovah's." Yeah, that's what he said. So he included himself in that. So I said all that to say, this healing that is mine and Jehovah's. See, because we don't do the physical thing anymore, physical fighting. You know what I'm saying? It's different now for his soldiers, for his generals. But I say to you, if we ever need to go hand to hand, right, send me. Okay, so anyway, listen, what was I saying? I'm like, okay, I'm getting ready to go up here to see my brother, my beloved brother, Herman Pitts, and I met him via another brother named Pitts. That when I came down here, oh, and remember I told you everyone that has played a part in my narrative, I may refer to, and if it's good, that's a great thing. But if it's not so good, that'll be reported too. Because it'll be the truth, it'll be my story. And if you need to reach out to me, I'm just saying, because I'm getting ready to, you can tell I'm getting ready to come out with something. This is gonna be my Cat Williams, revelation on everything, everybody, individuals, family members, organizational groups. If you did not so good, it's going to get told. Specificity, even. Yeah. And I have actually been like this, holding it for a long time. Make sure that I do it with love, because I always say peace and love. Oh, shout out to General Chantel. Shout out to General Sam Lee. Awesome. That's Tyrese's ex-wife. Fine general, spiritual sister that's putting down some good stuff. You younger women, or even older women, I would go check out this general and what she has to say. So, with respects to me, I told you this was impromptu, and I'm like jumping. So I'm probably gonna cut these up and see who responds, because I have like a little small following of people that are looking like interested. What was I gonna say? Stand by. Okay, I'm back. I'm telling the story. Okay, so Pitts, my brother, Carlton Pitts, was with me in prison over 30 years ago. And I was like young and wild and stupid, and he was like on a totally different level. And I was coming through the kitchen. I remember this like it was yesterday. I was coming through the kitchen, and he was sitting by the garbage can, dumping food in as people finish their trays. He says to me, "How could you know what you know about God, about Jehovah, and conduct yourself the way that you are?" I was like, that hit me like a ton of bricks, man. I was like, wow. I didn't even know who he was, actually. And later, hey, this is going to show you how you could believe something for a very long time, and then when the truth comes, it's like you get a revelation. I thought that was him saying that to me was just, out of the blue, Come to find out, this was planned. The security officer, was a Christian too, okay? And what was the officer's name? He was a child hall officer. But they knew that I grew up in a Christian home. And so they were talking, and I found that out just a year ago when we went to a spiritual convention in Conyers, and I met him, and I was like, oh yeah, we knew. We saw your record come in, and we knew that, would have said that your religious background, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, that just says about things that you find out. I just always thought, oh man, he said that, and now I know that it was bam. And that actually for me means more. So anyway, let me pause. Okay, so in prison, that was a major turning point for me. Okay, those words were a turning point for me. And when I was in the streets, remember I said earlier how, like civilians, I had a protected, did what I had to do, even though I was doing what I did. Okay, so even in there, when I switched over and started restudying the Bible and focusing on God, I protected a lot of the gays. Oh, that's why you gays, you should love me. There's two things. I am the only minister, comedian that will say publicly to the gays, I'm gay too. But not the second definition. It's the first definition where gay is like you're really happy. That gay. Not the gay, you know. Not that. But the fact that I could just say, hey, look, I'm gay too, you know, it's etymology, words and stuff. My understanding, you'd be like, hey man, this is a cool, you know, man, you say gay too, just like we gay. But not the second definition. I think whatever definition is not the gay, but the gay where you're happy, that's me. I'm gay too. So, having said that, and so this is the second reason why, when I start back doing my stand-up, I shouldn't be censored with the stuff that I say, because I was a protector of the gays in there. And what do I mean by that? I mean that when I started focusing myself spiritually, I started studying the Bible with people. I would have Bible studies, and there were dudes that would put pressure on the weaker ones to engage in homosexuality. I mean, I didn't get involved only when someone said help, you know, or if I gleaned that's something that they didn't want to do, then I would step in. And there was a couple that started studying, and they said that they didn't want that life. And they would come to me and say, T-Red, you know good and well, blah, 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 they don't want to study no damn Bible. They just, you know, blah, blah. I said, well, right now they are. So, and they don't want to do that. And then one occasion, one guy was like, man, you over here studying the Bible last night, guess where he was at? He was in the bathroom talking so, and you know, that happened a couple times. I would, you know, try to be played and stuff like that, you know. Which goes to the other conversation I was in the car having with Carol, where she was saying that I give to a fault. And you know something? I'm thinking maybe I do. I came up with a video yesterday that says when you are a empath and you nothing can change, even when people don't appreciate, and even when you're down, you still give. So I modify that and say, I've started to modify that and say that I know not to give my pearls to swine. I was about to say smart, but I don't really think I'm smart. Oh, you know what? Let me recant that. I actually do think I'm smart. I think that I am one of the most smartest dudes on planet Earth. Pause for dramatic effect. Let me tell you why. Because I absolutely know that I am the dumbest person, most ignorant person when it comes to embracing true knowledge. That I'm the dumbest when it comes to that. that was so cool. I need to write that. Hold on, let me write that down. I'm sorry, y'all. I just have to write this down. This is October. Oh, I hate So, oh, and this is you see this pouch right here? I carry this for a reason. I want to tell you guys something else since I'm doing this impromptu. There's a lot of things that I do that you think, why is he doing that? Okay. One of the friends said, this military stuff that you wear, like, what up with that? Well, first of all, let me say, it is not the microcosm of this physical army stuff. The matic colors, the green, the pants and the stuff, and they get that from the greater macrocosm of an army, of a government, which is God's government. Okay, so let me say that. This stuff is not worldly, it's ours. We had it first. So, having said that, there are some outstanding features for the reason the military uses the colors that they use, the blend. Take a look at the woods over there, okay? If an enemy is, if you're in the woods, it causes you to blend in with the environment. That's the colors, that's the modded different looks, and it confuses the enemy too. You might say, well, yeah, but what does that have to do with you and this ethos of time and you doing what you're doing? Well, that's why I often say, can you see the invisible? Ask that question. Because if you could see the invisible, you'll know that something major is about to go down, and it's going to be worldwide. It's going to be global. We're getting pockets of stuff now over here in this country, war torn, blah, blah. But for those of you who do believe Scripture, the prophecy, it makes it clear that something's going to go down. And let me say this. Even recently, people, non-spiritual, non-religious people are making quotes like, there's something horrific that is about to embrace the entire planet, Earth. Yeah, these are people who don't even, agnostics, atheists, who are making this statement. So now, back to us, to those of us who believe. Let me go to an account that gives what I'm saying specificity. In Matthew chapter 24, verse 3, and Jesus was on the Mount of Olives, and his disciples approached him privately and said, tell us, when will these things be, and what will be the sign of your presence and of the conclusion of the system of things, right? So they were asking him a question. Now, let me throw this in there. There was a lot that was going on in Rome politically and so forth, social economic things that were taking place. And so it was like a dual type of thing, like when is restoration coming to Jerusalem, because they were occupied by the Romans. So there's duality here. Okay, let me go. I'm rambling. So they said, hey, what's going to be the sign? And then Jesus said, hey, there will be earthquakes, there will be this, there will be pestilence, blah blah blah. When you see these things, know that the end is near, and several other things that he mentions. And also, he says that when you see the disgusting thing in Jerusalem, he was like, flee to the mountains. So those believers in him at that time, when they saw the disgusting thing come into Jerusalem, they were supposed to flee to the mountains. Okay, now, this is where also the duality comes in for our time period, where the earthquakes, the this and the that, and this one many refer to, and many religions, the Great Tribulation or Armageddon that's coming. That's what he talks about in Matthew and Luke. He talks about that time period coming. Now and this was, I think, if my math is right, 607 BCE, the Romans came to Jerusalem and they surrounded Jerusalem. They got to know that Jerusalem is huge, okay? Over a million people, there's very, very large. So the Romans came, and remember Jesus' words to them. He says, when you see the disgusting thing, flee to the mountains. Well, some of the believers, they were like, man, we're going to heck out of here. Some of them were like, oh, the threat is gone. That was at 6:07. And I'm having a brain explosion. I told you this was impromptu. I should write stuff down. I forget the name of the general that came. But 6:07, 70 CE. What in the heck? Do I have ink all over my... Bro, what is going on? As Billy Carson said, it's the demons. No, I'm kidding. Kidding, Billy. You said a lot of good stuff, but you got my ex-wife. She's like believing some stuff that you say that is not true, and I'm coming out with some information to show that what you said is not true. Oh, by the way, you should have had me with when you were doing that thing with Huff. You needed a lawyer. You didn't need to be, you needed a lawyer that knows the scriptures to, anyway. So, see, I got really stupid then, and I totally forgot what I was going to say. What was I talking about? Oh, Jerusalem. Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay. So, at 70 CE, I'm getting my numbers out. With 70 CE, they came back. Listen, go look it up. Josephus was the historian back then. All this stuff that I'm sharing with you is recorded. They came back under General Titus, surrounded Jerusalem. They put up fortifications, trees, so that people couldn't escape in a very circular, round circle. And they weren't able to escape. It was horrific. It was a terrible time for the Jews, to the point where Josephus talks about how they were eating their children. Yeah, eating their children, hiding out and being, this and that. It was a very, very terrible time. Now, where am I going with this? The duality of that situation there was for our time, that there will be a great tribulation, such has never occurred before, nor will occur again, is what the scriptures state. That's where I also talk about when this time happens, woe to the woman who's pregnant, because it's going to be difficult, it's going to be hard. So, this is a nice segue into why I am camping out, and I'm like seeing what's about to take place. And somebody, no one knows how it's going to, because one person told me, just rely on God, rely on Yahweh, rely on Jehovah. He's going to take care. But, yeah, he is, but he may do it in this manner, and just like those believers back then had to go through that, and they said it's going to be the same way. It says, woe to the woman. So I think before he really steps in and does something, we might be in some similar situation. So there needs to be somebody that, the reason I wear this, and I might wear it to the meeting, is because if something goes down and we have to hit the woods and go north, the south, the east, I have a compass on my watch. That's how serious I take this. I have a compass on my watch. Listen, let me put it like this. COVID hit and dismantled the entire world within, 3 days? 2 days? And that was just like a pestilence. Now think of divine activation by God's hand in doing what he has to do. How quickly things could go bad. No, think about it, really. Yeah, think about it. What would that look like? No more gas stations to go to, cars, out of gas, boom. Mass hysteria, murder, rape, everything, food. Mass hysteria. And people know it's coming. People talk about it. So let's say that that's the scenario, and me and my little group, we're out in the woods, but there are dangers too, and somebody has to trek and go get the food. Well, you got your meeting shoes on, and what do I have on? And what are y'all gonna do? Brother, online, can you go get the food? No. No. You should have believed in me in 2025 when I was telling you that was the one. I'm kidding. I'm not, but I'm kidding. But no, seriously, it's like, I do think about that more often than not. And the more that I look at the things taking place in this, I still think, well, they're going to think me weird with me, being like this. So I said I need to get over that. Yeah, that's what the chosen one video said. Stop caring what they think. And I'm like, you know what? That is so true because they're dumb. They don't even see that I do. And that just goes to show you I'm kidding, y'all. I'm teasing. I am. I love y'all. Y'all are amazing. Amazing. Well, listen, let me get it. I told you this was impromptu. I needed to talk. I need to get this off my chest. I know I've said a lot. Let's see, what time do we got going on? Okay, let's see here. How long am I talk? Oh, 36 minutes. 36 minutes. Okay. Well, as I go in here, I'm going to talk to you all. I'm going to keep talking to you all and tell you that this is McAfee Towers. And I have a lawsuit on them too. Now, they've hired some big guns, okay? New Street. I don't know. They kind of want to talk. But this place, they responded with a removal. I have a 5-count complaint against them. Good job, guys. Good job. And see, that's what, you're supposed to do. I know this attorney doesn't even care if I have a great case. This is an opportunity for him to make money. Filing stuff to keep it. They don't know that. They don't know that maybe in some circumstances you should just settle. Case in point, I sued a major hospital in Atlanta myself, litigated it myself. I went to the guy and I says, hey, give me $30,000. Give me $30,000. Didn't do it. Insulted me even almost. We were in. I went into his office. I was talking to him. He said something about Occam's razor, and this pissed me off. I was like, you white, you don't. I know more about Occam's razor than you do, which I did happen to understand. It's the principle or theory of coming to the best conclusion or so. Anyway, my point is, I knew, and I said, actually I have the video where yeah, I do, and I'll have to show you. Anyway, what's my point I'm making? I don't know, I just lost my thought again. Oh, I remember. Remember I quoted Mark Twain that said the truth is catching up. This place here, man, I came here doing Bible studies and just like I was attacked like massively, bro. The stuff they said about me is, it's like for real. And the lies told, of beating my wife and all this other stuff. That's among other things, I have a suit against them. So they filed a removal. I think they got some big wigs on, but guess what? Not bigger than the Atlanta law firms that we, you heard me right? I know it was you, but like, just like I gave the illustration for the soldier in the field and both of y'all, it was me and him that won. And I'll have that in my book too. I'm gonna tell you, it's an amazing story. You're gonna be like, wow, General's pretty smart. Okay, wait a minute. So anyway, okay, I'm going in here now, and I guess I'm going to go in here because actually the security, I have them named the complaint. And will they let me back in? They should. I don't have a restraining order on me not to go in, but we're going to see. I'm going up to see my friend, Herman. I'm going to take you guys with me. All right, let's do it. And this is why I did the, they were moving on up to the sky, to a deluxe apartment in the sky. They're moving on. What's happening, Captain?
How you doing, sir?
All right, good. How are you?
Fine.
And I need to call my guy. Have him. I like taking you guys with me. And I'm wondering how much of this I'm going to edit. Another thing I thought about. I said to myself, when I was talking about being authentic, and I was talking about, hey, some of you who have been in my narrative who have not been nice or good, and and when I tell my story, I'm going to tell what happened. Call me.
Hey, you got somebody coming on the door?
Huh?
You got somebody on the door?
No, I don't. Actually, I'm about to cut the security guys. Let me call my guy.
Security guy.
No, I was gonna. Usually, security is right there.